I want to tell you a few things about meditation that no one tells you. Meditation has been one of those practices that I felt like in the beginning I didn't truly understand. I found it quite difficult as well sometimes, to sit still with the mind. The more and more I practiced it, I came to realize what the true essence is of meditation. It is more than just quieting your thoughts. There is a lot more that you can get out of meditation. And there are a lot of variants of meditation that you can do as well during exercise, active meditation, or actually, sitting still and cultivating inner peace from your stillness. It can actually be a great source of inspiration as well, which I'll tell you more about in this video. Meditation is such an important way to deal with anxieties. A lot of people talk about sitting still, focusing on the breath, but what do you have to do to calm the mind, which is the hardest part about meditation, to reach inner quietness? How do you actually do that? That's what today's video is about. My name is Davy. I am a PhD student in chemical engineering at the University of Cambridge, and in my free time I love to study topics related to self-development, psychology, linking this back to science, and I've been living in awareness and cultivating my spirituality over the last few years. This video consists of two parts. The first part is I want to explain to you why meditation is so incredibly important. And in the second part of the video, I'll get practical with you guys and explain how do you actually meditate. Let me get into it. So first of all, why is meditation so incredibly important? I think a lot of us are suffering from anxieties and fears, which is just basically your nervous system thinking it has to be alert and there is a stress signal constantly going from your brain to your body, but there is actually no danger. Now, why meditation is so important is because it is a way to calm down your parasympathetic nervous system. It is basically a way of telling your body you are safe and there is no threat. So meditation is almost like this little reset that you can do to tell your body, to allow your body to just sit still, focus on the breathing, and with that fully get into a relaxed state. But how to actually execute the meditation I'll get into in a second, but it's a way to deal with anxiety as well. Why meditation is so important is that it brings our awareness back into our body, out of our mind into our body, by focusing on the breath, by focusing on the body. If we're doing exercise, it gets us back into the body and out of the mind. And if we train this muscle during meditation to get out of the mind, we can use this capacity in daily life as well. When we're dealing with negative thoughts or when we're feeling overwhelmed, we now have trained this capacity to become the observer of the thoughts and get out of them and objectively look at them. And this inner calmness that you've cultivated during your meditation, you'll reap the benefits of that during your daily life all around, because inner peace can dismantle any form of anxiety. Because with inner peace, we found a way to feel safe in our body again. And once we cultivate that feeling, it'll become easier to deal with struggles and triggers in daily life as well. Second reason why meditation is so important is that it makes the energy flow through your body. Your energy are your emotions. There are often a lot of blocked, stored emotions in your body, which is why you're having these constant stress signals and this anxiety. And when you're feeling anxious and you don't even know why, it is the result of blocked energies and blocked emotions still being with you, probably formed during past events and stored in your body. And they're making you feel anxious even when there is no threat anymore, and they're staying with you, these anxieties and fears. Now, meditation is a great way to keep the energy flowing again, even if you don't truly understand how it works. Third and final reason why it is essential for you to start meditating. There are theoretical concepts that I can't explain that specifically apply to your life, insights that you can get, realizations, epiphanies. Meditation is not always just about stillness. Sometimes we can actually listen to our inner voice as well and listen to what we need, really tune into our body and the way we feel and what is bothering us. And in this way, meditation is incredibly healing and incredibly insightful, because it can expand your awareness in a way that none of my videos might be able to do. The way I see spirituality as well, it's like you have the theory that you need to understand, and then you have the practices, and both of these are going to give you equal insights, right? So if you're only consuming theory, reading books, watching videos on spirituality, you're never gonna get as far as to when you're also actually putting in the practices such as meditation, because the insights and the growth in awareness that you can get from this is undescribable and it's gonna apply specifically to your life. Now let me get into how to actually meditate. I'll give you the 3 variants of meditation that I really like and that really have benefited me. The first one being actually sitting in stillness. The second one a little bit more active, like yoga or stretching. And the third one is really active, when you're actually exercising, going for a run or going for a walk. Whichever suits you, or do them all, right? Especially when you just start off meditating, it might be difficult to sit in stillness and be alone with your thoughts, because that's the scary part about meditation. You're alone with your thoughts. And I think that is why a lot of people are struggling with meditation. And I noticed that when I'm feeling anxious, I used to avoid my meditations as well, because I didn't want to be alone with my thoughts, because my thoughts would scare me. First meditation, sitting in stillness. The way I like to meditate is I like to sit on the floor, maybe on a yoga mat, but you can just sit on the floor if your floor is comfy, and sit in a cross-legged position with your spine up straight. Now, why do I not want you to lay down? What we're trying to do in meditation is we're trying to get into our body. I know it is quite an uncomfortable position, especially in the beginning, to sit up straight and sit in this cross-legged position. But what that does, it brings your awareness into your body. You have to do the effort to keep up straight, to keep your shoulders low, and to sit in this cross-legged position. And that helps, that facilitates getting out of the mind. Now, put some music in the background. I really like to put in headphones with some magic forest frequency. If you look that up on YouTube, you'll find tones. Why? Because we live in a very distracted world, right? Where our phone will go off, or we will hear voices, and we don't want to get distracted during meditation. So put in headphones or put on music, so that you are dissociated from the external world. Or if you're in nature somewhere, you don't need to put on music. You can actually just listen to the nature sounds, because nature is so peaceful and doesn't really have distractions. But if you're doing this inside at home, put in your headphones so that you can really focus your energy inward. Now, as you're sitting in this cross-legged position, sitting up straight, and if this is just too hard for you in the beginning, you can put your back against the wall to keep your spine up straight. You're gonna breathe in 4 seconds. You're going to breathe out 8 seconds. You're going to do that a few times, actually counting it. And then at that point, you can just find a natural rhythm that works for you. You don't have to count the breathing anymore. You just find a natural pattern that works for you. But what is really important is the deep inhales and the even longer, deepest exhale that you can give. Really breathing from the stomach, visualizing energy sort of flowing from the bottom of your spine or your belly area all the way up to your head and back. Now, as you're focusing on your breathing, what are you going to do with your thoughts? Because your thoughts are going to want to distract you, right? What meditation is about is you become the observer of your thoughts. It's not like you don't think at all anymore. Thoughts will still occur. An analogy that I like is if your thoughts are cars on the highway, instead of being in a car, you're stepping out of it and you're standing on the sideway of the highway and watching the cars flow by. So you're watching your thoughts flow by. Now, what does that look like in the mind? Well, it just looks like when a thought occurs, you just don't feed it energy and you acknowledge it and you just let it go again. You're like, okay, I'm not going to feed that thought from now. And you reshift your energy focus back on your breath. And if another thought arises, again, you're like, not right now, I'm meditating and I'm focusing my energy back on the breath. And you don't have to act on that thought right now, and you're letting it go again. And this is where you cultivate and train your brain to not feed thoughts, to take back the conscious power to choose which thoughts to feed. And sometimes during meditation, if there is a thought that I like, an inspirational thought or something that makes me feel really good, I do hop in that car and I do go a little bit with that thought spiral. Or if I feel like visualizing a little bit about, my future life, or that I'm trying to manifest, or maybe sometimes I would just visualize being in a jungle, being in nature when I'm being at home, for example. Those thoughts are allowed. It's not like you're not allowed to think at all anymore. But when there are thought spirals, especially negative ones, you bring your energy back into the present moment by refocusing on your breath and letting that thought float off like a little cloud, right? Or like you're watching the sea and the waves are your thoughts. I like to have my journal at hand as well sometimes when I'm meditating, to write things down if I really get inspirational thoughts. but this is not a requisite. And what is really important during this meditation is that you keep a steady breathing pattern, because that breathing pattern is really what is going to calm your parasympathetic nervous system down. If you feel like you're getting caught up in a thought spiral again, refocus on your breath and tell yourself that you're safe. It is okay to relax now. Really, get back into the body, lower the shoulders, let your belly expand as you breathe, remove all the tension from your body. Really feel as well, where in my body do I have tension, and try to relax those areas. Try to shift your awareness to those areas and to sort of, with your mind, try to relax them. And the most important thing about the meditation is that your awareness stays in your body. Doesn't go to future, doesn't go to past events, unless it's a specific visualization about the future that you really like and that makes you feel good. You're very welcome to hop in that thought wave and surf that thought wave for a little bit and then go back to the level of observer of the mind again. That is really what it is about. It is like, if your thoughts are waves, you're standing next to the sea on the beach watching them, and sometimes you can hop in and surf a little bit on a few thoughts if you like them, but you choose which thoughts to feed. And if there's a thought that you don't like, or a negative thought, you reshift your attention back on your breathing, back into the present moment, back into your body. And this is why you're sitting in this cross-legged position as well. It's really easy to get your awareness back into your body, because you have to think constantly about, okay, I have to keep my spine straight. You have to tense your muscles a little bit. And I know it is a little bit uncomfortable to sit like this, but that is the point. That brings your mind into your body. That shifts your awareness away from the mind back into the meditative state. Because if you're laying down, it is too easy to drift off. And another thing as well is that if you think about the chakras as well, your energy is flowing from bottom to top if your spine is straight into the universe. And if you're laying flat, you're connected to the earth. So your thoughts are quite different. I actually notice if I lay down and meditate, I will have very different thoughts than if I sit up straight. This might sound very weird, but I feel like there's a different connection. The energy flows different when I'm sitting up straight. And the insights that you can get during meditation about yourself, about things that you didn't even know that were bothering you, or inspirational thoughts about where you want to go in life, or ideas that you can have, those can all occur during meditation. Meditation is a magical tool that can help you so much to grow your awareness, to get out of the mind, but at the same time also just inspire you, uplift you. And especially if you only choose to feed the positive thought spirals that you like, or fun visualizations, it makes you feel so incredibly good. Let's move on to the second type of meditation, which is a bit more active, like yoga or stretches. If you're just starting out to do this, all that is important, you can look up the yoga videos on YouTube, right? I really like Hitomi meditation for digestion. What this is really about is, instead of sitting still during meditation, now you're stretching, but you're still using your breath. So you stretch on every outhale. So if you make a movement, you stretch on every in and outhale. So you make upwards moving when you inhale, and you're releasing movements when you exhale. You can look up a yoga practice, but you can also do random stretches. So all that is important during this movement, during these stretches that you do, is that you sync your breath to the way you move. Because reaching a meditative state in a stretch might be easier for some people than actually sitting still, because there's an extra level of distraction, and you feel the stretch in your body as well, which gets you out of the mind into the body. And again, you could do this with music, putting it in, and keep focusing on the breath. Thoughts arise about the future, what you have to do after, let them go again, and bring your awareness back into the body, back into the present moment. It'll keep happening. Like, your mind never stops. It will always present new thoughts, but you take back the conscious power to not feed thoughts by reshifting your focus back on your breath or the stretches. The third and most active form of meditation, which I also do, is going on a run or going on a walk. And again, syncing my breath to the movement. So I will have a very rhythmic breathing pattern. This might be different than how other people might run or walk. What is important here is a very rhythmic breathing pattern, as if you're sort of going into a trance, as if you're a machine and your body is moving in a rhythmic way and your breath is going in a rhythmic way. And you could do mindfulness at the same time, look around, look at the leaves, really tune into the present moment. Look at the floor, what are you smelling, what are you seeing, what are you hearing? During this meditative run or walk, don't try to listen to music where people are singing, right? Just try to listen to calming sounds, or I really like to listen to music that has no singing, just like beats, or just like frequencies that can relax you. And again, the rhythmic movement of the body and the rhythmic breathing is really important. And as thoughts occur, you again let them float off and you bring your awareness back to the present moment. Bring your awareness back to the body, the breath, or the surrounding. Either of these, that is the present moment. I think the main thing that I want you to take away as well here is that meditation is not just about shutting off your mind. It's not. It's much more than that. It can be a source of so much inspiration, but at the same time, inner peace. And conclusion of all of these 3 meditations combined, right? It's reshifting your focus back on the present moment by using your breath. Have a very rhythmic breathing, or a breathing pattern that feels comfortable for you, with very deep inhales, very deep exhales, really trying to breathe from the belly area so that the energy can flow through your body. Really tuning into how your body feels. If you're sitting still or doing stretches or exercising, how does your body feel? Really tune into your body and only feed thoughts that you want to feed. And if it's a negative thought, you just let it float off and bring your awareness back into the present moment. It can be so incredibly healing. Now, how often do you meditate? I would say daily. Find a moment in either of these 3 forms. Stretches you can do in the morning, an exercise you do once a day, and a meditation you could even do once a day. And for how long you do it is really, again, up to you. You could do it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever feels comfortable to you. But really try to take some separate time to bring yourself into this meditative state and allow yourself to relax and to feel safe, to calm down the nervous system from anxiety and panic. During your meditation, you could even say little prayers of gratefulness, and you could even have a conversation with your spirit angels and guides, asking them questions. As long as it feels good to you, everything else will let float off and we become the observer of the mind. Right, that was my rant on meditation. I hope anything in this video was useful. Let me know in the comments if you tried this. Give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying my content. Follow me on Instagram as well, Davy_Citram. And I would love to see you in my next video. Sending you my love.